Well, yesterday's mission was a flop. The deer hunting mission, I mean. But today is a new day. I'm gonna pack my stuff and head towards the main attraction, Yugoslavian Alcatraz. And we're off. Now the Gulag. We've got to reach around that corner and then should be able to see the island. Yesterday I told you a whole bunch of everything, but nothing about how the island actually came to be. I mean, reason the island was always here. What a lovely hidden beach. After World War II ended, the leader of Yugoslavia, Tito, and the leader of Soviet Union, Stalin, were first allies, but they didn't last long because of their different political views, so eventually they became enemies. And Yugoslavians didn't like that, because Stalin had a lot of power and influence from World War II, so they thought he was a safer option to root for. But that of course meant betrayal to Tito. So that's where it all started. There's these bunkers all along the coast. If only they had a parking spot for my boat. Tito opened a political prison camp here on the naked island, Goli Otok in Croatian, and that's where he put all of the people that supported Stalin, or even if they didn't. It was enough to be accused of supporting Stalin, and I would pack your bags and fly you out here. Fly us on a boat, I mean. Okay, I'm beyond that corner now and still no sign of the island. But it should be behind that corner. Look how clear the water is. You can see all of the water worms. My camera is not waterproof. Just not anymore. If it comes to a blackout, it's my fault. There's our prize. For some it was a prize they had to pay, but for me it's a prize. And back there on the mainland you can even see some snow. Otherwise you can never tell it's winter. Oh. I wasn't planning on doing this in the winter because of the cold water and everything. But then I realized the sea is a lot more peaceful now because there's no boats, which also means there's a lot less chance of me getting ran over. And the cold water is only a problem if the boat fails me. that's why I got this neoprene. Although it's a bit big here in the stomach area, I don't know how much it would help, but it gives me peace of mind. There's also the idea of flying to the island with a helicopter, but unfortunately we couldn't get a permit, so manpower it is. Still, I'd like to give a major shout out to my Croatian friend Matija. I know how much effort he put in to try and make that happen, so thanks again. Instead of that, we did a flight over the Julian Alps, which was also super nice. The only thing here that isn't an island is this line right here. That's an island, that's an island, came from that just now. And this here is also an island. That's where I parked yesterday. So yeah, Croatia does have a lot of islands. But anyway, I'm gonna park myself somewhere here and then I'll make my way on foot to this bushy area. That's where the main part of the prison is. There's scattered all over the island, but did I just hear a ship? Oh, we're gonna have company.
Shut up!
Okay, you made it. I like to keep my shoes dry. What? There goes that. Oh, my knees have cramped up. You won't believe me, but a rabbit just came out of that tetanus box. It's right behind the corner. Holy mother of God, what did I just see? It was either a 200 kilo tuna or a dolphin. Jumped like 5 meters in the air. Good thing I didn't bring a fishing pole. I'd be dumb enough to try and catch it. I don't know if I'll be back by evening, so I put it far enough away from the sea so that the moisture won't get it in the evening. The rest doesn't need drying, so I'll just put it under the kayak. So many of these lizards. Okay, so the very first thing they would do to a new arrival like me is they would strip you naked and make you walk past a line of 1,000 or 2,000 prisoners whose job was to spit, kick and basically beat the living shit out of you. Some of them didn't even survive that, but those that did, well, for them it was just the beginning. And to be honest, I don't know what's worse. Already bones. Oh my, they're all over the place. I think that's where they stored their carts, and they would go directly to the workshop or storage area, whatever that is. Don't take my word for it though. So many buildings I couldn't research all of them, and these belong in that category. If you know better, please correct me in the comments. Good bird shit right in my face. But the rest of the view is nice. That's where I'm going. Into the bushes. Just I'd like to check out that bunker or whatever that is. Oh! Look, a rabbit. See, I wasn't lying. Turning prisoners against each other was one of their main tactics to prevent outbreaks and just any kind of resistance. Because if fellow inmates were beating your ass, then how could you trust anyone? Bring peace and carrots. No. No. My mom's gonna be even more offended than me when she sees this. She's the one that grew the carrots. Shoot! This was part of the quarry. Let's see if I can get on top. Yeah. That's a bunch of thorns in my finger. But yeah, this looks like it was the quarry. They were mining the rock up here, and they drove it on the roof and sent it down onto wagons or whatever. So that was probably some kind of rock processing facility. Excuse my terminology, I know it's shit. Not an Englishman. Wonder what happened when one of these got jammed. I think we know the answer to that. It kick you down and keep you there until you fix it. And that was the harbor. I think I was in sport mode. That rock was then used to build all of the houses on the island. Quarrying and masonry were just two of many professions they had. There were also tree planters, just like on the rabbit. Just like on the women's prison, they also put dirt here on the island and planted all of the trees. And then there was also metal work, carpentry. They made tiles. Some of them are still in use along the Adriatic coast in some public places. So yeah, any blue collar job you can think of, they did it probably. Here is where they would export their goods and import new prisoners. I think there's one or two more ports like that. But there was a way to avoid all of that work, because the whole system was running on hierarchy. It meant that if you denounced Stalin, played by the rules and beat your fellow inmates, then you could get a higher position and even earn some rewards. You guessed it. Next up is the industrial zone. Please excuse my broken English. Another ferry here. What's up with me today? I'm in port, which naturally leads to the factories. And this here was the heart of the island. This prison was built on a hierarchy system, which meant not everyone was treated equally. And if you didn't wanna play by the rules, you'd end up in section 102, which is next on the list. Want my carrot? Look, I'm tired of carrying them around all day, so I'll just throw it to you. If I find them. When I got them out of my bag, it was too late. This place is way too pretty to be a prison. Where did they get that idea? Instead of this, Tito should have retired and built himself a resort here. Oh no. Don't tell me that's a... Oh, flies. I wonder what happened to him here in the middle of the road. Another water collecting system. And I think there's our 102 section. Yeah, no, that's not it. But it is something. Ah, goat shelter. Bit further, I guess. Oi. The 102. How am I even carrying this anymore? These rabbits are everywhere. I've seen like 50 of them. Maybe it's just one that is going in the same direction as me. You wouldn't be far off if you said that's a prison inside a prison. Oh wow, never been inside a prison before. Why am I so excited about it? Down here on the ground level, these are the isolation cells. Whoa. Hey, I've got a pair just like that. Should I go for it? Ah no. Shit, I've got an ankle monitor. No can do. Could be wrong, but there's a very high chance these tiles were built by the prisoners. Okay, let's go check the upstairs. I'm just gonna speed through because we've got limited daylight and more stuff to see. Wow. Oh, my nose. There's one specific room I'm looking for, but I can't find it anywhere. Maybe it's not in this prison, but since I saw that photo, I wanted to see it. Well, if you don't find it, post the picture on right now. Okay, prison done. Now I still got left a school, and not an ambulance, a hospital, and one more thing down there. More, it's more than just a thing, but one thing at a time. Well, I accidentally walked past the school, so first the hospital. Gotta watch out for tetanus shots. My Crocs are not vaccinated. Ooh, that was a close call. Look at that bastard. There seems to be an ongoing problem with the roofs. Well, there can't be a problem if there isn't any. I mean, it's been 75 years, but still, we're not in America. Houses here shouldn't be built out of paper. Just joking, of course. Please don't. Ooh, karma. Back to school, boys and girls. Oh no, someone locked the door. Maybe it's best that way. These roofs are a gamble. Of course, there were no kids in this school. The school was used to teach the prisoners about trades, and if you're a Stalin supporter, you were taught how wrong you are. Okay, now there's two rooms I'm looking for. A prison cell and an X-ray room. Naturally, I thought it's gonna be in the prison and hospital, but nope. I'm gonna go check out that last place and then on the way back maybe search some more. Should be here. Seen photos online, but wasn't smart enough to research the exact location. So now I'm left hanging with nothing. As the number of prisoners kept growing, they started running out of room, and that's when they built this place. Although it's nothing like it was, because the actual prison labor camp closed in 1956, and it was then turned into a normal prison, so they destroyed all of the old buildings, and that's what the modern prison looked like. If I had to be a prison, I'd choose this place. Just look at that view. But only if it was after 1956. Okay, I'm gonna leave it at that and go search for my X-ray machine instead. Skipped a few buildings on the way here, so I'll check those. But if I don't find anything, I'm probably not gonna record it because I already filmed too many boring empty rooms. There's so many footprints in the concrete. How can you not realize you're walking on wet cement? Must have been done on purpose by the guards. Ship carpet. Oh! That's a mummified ship. Oh. Another ship carcass and a few legs there. Oh, no way. Finally. Starting to lose hope, but there it is. Hope it was worth it. Can't answer for you, but for me it definitely was. You know me, I've got to touch everything. Looks like the last person they tried to scan was burned to pieces. Okie dokie, just one more thing to tick it off the bucket list. Tick off the bucket list. My goodness. Starting to get hungry. Oh, that scared the shit out of me. Might as well share some unreliable stories on the way back. I don't know how much of it is true, but apparently they sometimes had gladiator fights to the death. Also, the prisoners' wives and family members had to divorce or disown them. But again, only read that on the internet, so can't say for certain. But one thing I can say is their biggest enemy here was water. I mean, the lack of it. Pretty much all of the prisoners that got off the island said that. But the sad reality is many didn't. Out of the 16,000 people that served here, anywhere from 400 to 8,000 didn't make it. The number varies a lot because the government tried to hide all of their wrongdoings, so no one really knows. So yeah, even here on the island you can't find any graves. Okay, I'm back in the industrial zone. Doubt it's gonna be here, but let's see. Another grave. quite a bit underwhelming, but I did find it. I knew it was fake, but I thought it's gonna be at least cord and a bit more cord. You can see it used to be all over the wall, but now it's turned into dust. The Dyson out, it's bloody dusty. Bucket list complete, it's time to retreat. I was about to not put up the tent, but after about 5 minutes I realized everything's wet already, so tent it is.